Hey, this is Lon with Single Track Skills. I'm at Oak Mountain State Park on a double black trail called Boulder Ridge. It's one of my favorite trails. I'm grateful that I was able to be a part of the original group that built this trail, and so awesome that the park has let us have so much fun with it over the years. I think the trail's like 10 years old now, something like that. But anyway, I'm gonna flip this bad boy around to get a better perspective for y'all. This is the line that I rode down right through here. All right, and I'm gonna go up to the top and walk down it so you can see from a different angle. This particular rock face we've affectionately called North Shore. It does not look very steep at all on camera, but it is, especially this part right here is pretty darn steep. There's no way you could stop on it. I mean, you can stop up here, but once you get into there, you can't stop. That rock face there, I don't think you can stop on. You may be able to. I've never tried. But let's check it out from the top. So here's how you get on it. This is Boulder Ridge. You would normally ride over these rocks, ride through here, and then you're going to take a hard right and climb up this bad boy here. Definitely need some XC fitness to get up this. I'm able to ride up it in cooler temperatures like today, but not so much when the heat index is over 100. By the way, I wouldn't advise this trail when it's super hot. It's just not as much fun, and you're getting into your savings account more than you realize. You definitely have a heat stroke up here. I rode it yesterday, and you can see my tire marks here. Traction's really good. So basically, you start, this is the first part of the cascading rock roll. Heavy on front and rear brake, heavy on front and rear brake. Right in that hole, you let off your front brake. Regain your composure. I have to walk this way because it's a little too steep to walk down that. All right, over here. For those of you who are familiar with the state park, the white hiking trail is up there. Oh, right up there along the ridge. And further down that way is the new trail called Storyteller. So that just gives you a little bit of perspective of where we are. You can find all these trails, mountain bike trails, on Trail Forks and MTV Project. So here's where I did my stoppie right here. So it's pretty low key right here. And this rock right here is where I did my stoppie. It's a little bit off camber, but it's got good grip to it. I've never tried it in the wet, but it's got good grip to it, but it's still kind of tricky. I need to get a better stoppie than the one I started off with in the video, because it wasn't very good. I've done way better ones, but you know, when the camera's out, everything goes to pot. So anyway, grabbing that front brake, staying pretty tall so I don't fight myself. Like if I'm getting really small on the bike and trying to base out, I'm fighting myself. But if I get tall up in that neutral position and give it a little bounce, grab that front brake. Now you got to be careful, right? Because if you get it wrong, that's a long ways to fall down. I've seen one person fall down from up here, and it was not pretty. It was a miracle he didn't get hurt. But anyway, so bounce on that rear wheel, grab that front brake, modulate it. People say feather the front brake. I think of it more like a dimmer switch. You know, older homes have dimmer switches where you have the off on, where you push it, and then you have the knob, you can turn it to make it brighter or dimmer. So it's definitely on all the way up here, and then you make it brighter by grabbing that front brake more, and that gets that rear wheel up higher. And then if you feel like it's getting too high, all you got to do is just turn that dimmer switch down, and that rear wheel will drop. And then what I did was I shot over here. It wasn't the prettiest because I had to get a little bit of a ratchet in there, and I crested the top. it was more of a B, an A plus. I wouldn't have had to ratchet. I would have carried the right amount of speed. This is a mandatory drop. I know some people have put some cheater rocks in there. I'm not sure who did, but they really are not going to function for anything because you're going too fast really to roll that. So commit, definitely just do a bit of a pop drop there. I cover that in ground control 2, and then ride it right on out. Yeah, this is the funnest line here. We have more lines. We have 2 advanced lines that I have never done. 2 of my friends have done. A few of my friends have done it, and they hardly ever get ridden, as you can tell. This one of them is this one right here. It's called the spine. It's right down this spine. You can see those rocks that are right down there that have been placed in there. I call them cheater rocks, but I mean, my goodness, a feature this hard, there's nothing wrong with putting those in there. And then it's a mandatory drop into just chaos down there. It's definitely high risk. And then the other line that I haven't done that's more advanced than this line that I just did for you is this one right here. And you can see nobody's hardly ever doing it. It's just right along, right where that grass is, and then mandatory drop off of there. Those are the 2 most advanced lines. The easiest line is the center line right here, just straight down. Let me see if I can get a better look at it. That's the part where I said, hey, it's almost vertical. That's where it is. I know it's so hard to see from the camera, and you want to stay to the right of that, the right of that rock down there that has all of the pedal marks on it. Yeah, so if you're ever interested in that particular line, which I'll call the easiest line, then yeah, hit me up for my Boulder Ridge class. Ground Control 1 and Ground Control 2 are prerequisites for the class. If you haven't taken those with me, then if you can show me some videos of your riding that will determine for me that you're ready for these features, then I'll welcome you aboard. But it's too remote up here for anybody to get hurt, for them wanting to skip to this and skip over the basics. So again, I look at what I do, kind of like teaching martial arts. Everyone wants to be a black belt, but nobody wants to put the time in to be a black belt. And I kind of feel like the Ground Control 1, Ground Control 2, the launches, those sorts of classes, those are like earning the lower belts to prepare for black belt, because this is a double black trail for sure. And you know, you definitely need the basics. Otherwise you get hurt and you don't have fun, and I don't have fun, and we're pretty remote. So we just don't want that to happen. But yeah, that's it. I need to shut up now. Hey, next month we're going to be talking about the other rock face we have here, and it is affectionately called Squamish-ish. There's a pretty funny story about why it's called that. I'll have to tell you sometime if I see you.